crying, watching over us as time goes by. Singing and crying, watching over us as time goes by. Just a little love, just a little love.
Shalom, and welcome to Hebrew Bible Secrets with your host, Rabbi Jeremy Beaton. Today we are continuing with the book of Matthew, starting at chapter 4, verse 1. This is when Satan appears as a man to Yahushua. Chapter 4, verse 1. Then Yahushua was led up by the Ruach Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward hungry. 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If you be the Son of Elohim, command these stones to be made into lechem, bread. 4. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by lechem, bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh, God. 5. Then the devil took him up into the set-apart city and set him on the highest point of the Beth Hamikdash, the temple. 6. And said to him, If you be the Son of Elohim, cast yourself down, for it is written, He shall give his Malachim charge concerning you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. 7. Yahushua said to him, It is written again, You shall not tempt Yahweh your power. 8. Again the devil took him up into an exceedingly high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them. 9. And he said to him, All these things I will give you, if you will fall down, bare your head, and pay homage to me. 10. Then Yahushua said to him, Get away, Satan, for it is written, You shall pay homage to Yahweh your power, and him shall you serve. 11. Then the devil left him, and behold, Malachim, angels, came and attended to his needs. 12. Now when Yeshua had heard that Yehochanan, John, was cast into prison, he departed into Galilee. 13. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Kafar Nakum, which is upon the sea coast in the borders of Zebulun and Nephalim. 14. That it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Yeshayahu the prophet, saying, 15. The land of Zebulun and the land of Nephalim, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. 16. The people which sat in darkness saw the great light, and to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up. 17. From that time Yahushua began to proclaim and to say, Repent, for the kingdom of Shamayim, heaven, is near. 18. And Yahushua, walking by the sea of Galilee, saw two brothers, Shimon, called Kepha, Peter, and Andri, his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. 19. And he said to them, Follow me, and I will make ye fishers of men. 20. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. 21. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, Yaakov, the son of Zebedee, and Yochanan, John, his brother, in a boat with Zebedee their father, mending their nets, and he called to them. 22. And they immediately left the boat and their their father, and followed him. 23. And Yahshua went about all over Galilee, teaching in the Kohanim, and preaching the Besorah of the kingdom, the Torah of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. 24. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought to him all sick people that were taken with different diseases and afflictions, and those which were possessed with demons, and those which were epileptics and paralytics, and he healed them. 25. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and from Jerusalem, and from Yehudah, and from beyond Jordan. So there now ends chapter 4, and we will have a look at the footnotes in chapter 4. So let's go back to the first footnote, which is in verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward hungry. So let's have a look at this. When he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. So days, we have a footnote there for days. This has nothing to do with the Catholic Lent. It is similar to Moses, who went up to the mountain and did not eat for 40 days and 40 nights. And we can read this in Exodus 34:28. So let's have a quick look at Exodus 34 and 28 to see what it says. So Exodus 34:28. So he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He neither ate lechem, bread, nor drank ma'im, water. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. So there you have it. So let's move to the next footnote. So it's just telling you there that, if Moses obviously went 40 days without eating or drinking, then obviously we know that Yahushua also could go 40 days without eating or drinking. So the next footnote we have is in verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if you be the son of Elohim, command these stones to be made into lechem bread. So we have under Elohim a footnote there, footnote 4, which says, the Semitic original of the book of Matthew and all the other books of the writings of the Nazarenes had a Hebrew beginning. We follow the traditions and customs of our forefathers and the prophets in the Tanakh. So this is where we get our understanding from, as did our forefathers, from the Torah and from the prophets. Okay, let's have a look at the next footnote. So in verse 4, and it says, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by lechem, bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh, of God. So we have next to Yahweh's name a footnote which says, Yahushua, or as some know him as Jesus, quoted from the Torah, Deuteronomy 8:3. The word was not God or Elohim, but in Hebrew the term Yahweh was used. He may have used the vernacular at the time of Adonai. So let's have a quick look at Deuteronomy 8:3 and see what we can get. excuse me, Deuteronomy 8:3. And he humbled you, and suffered you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you knew not, neither did your avot, your fathers, know, that he might make you know that man will not live by lechem, bread only, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh will man live. So we have a footnote there over only. So let's have a look at this footnote. We need Torah for our very beings. Without Torah, we will starve spiritually to death. Torah gives life and is the living waters we need. So understand, without Torah, you cannot have eternity. So man shall not live by bread alone, but out of every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh. So therefore we have to be listening to what Yahweh is telling us to do. This is the might, the lechem, and the water. So we need both. We need to understand. We need the Torah in order to have life, in order to have eternity as well. Without the Torah, you can't have eternity. So this is why Yahshua is calling people back to repent, to return back to the Torah. And it's the same now in 2019, that we have to repent, return back to the Torah and keep the commandments. This is what it's saying here. Okay, next footnote, which is verse 5. Then the devil took him up into the set-apart city and set him on the highest point of the Beth Hamikdash, the temple. So let's have a look at this footnote here for temple. So we have the temple in Jerusalem. So the next footnote after that we have is in verse 6. And said to him, if you be the son of Elohim, cast yourself down, for it is written, he shall give his Malachim charge concerning you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. So let's have a look at this word stone. So it says here, Satan allegedly tried to tempt Yahushua. So we have a footnote here which also goes or refers to Psalm 91:11. So let's have a look at Psalm 91:11 quickly. So Psalm 91:11. For he commands his Malachim concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. So there you have it, proof that Yahweh does guard over his people. Okay, those who are keeping the Torah and the commandments. So this is for all of you as well who keep the commandments. The Father, will guard you. Let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 7. Yahushua said to him, it is written again, you shall not tempt Yahweh your power. So let's have a look at this word, power. Yahushua quoted the Torah, Deuteronomy 6:16. So let's have a look at Deuteronomy 6:16 quickly. Deuteronomy 6:16. Deuteronomy. You shall not tempt Yahweh your power, as you tempted him in Massah. Okay, so Yahushua is referring back to the Torah in these cases, so he's telling you, basically, he's getting all of his understanding from the Torah. So, so many people have said that the Torah is old and done away with. But here Yahushua is referencing back to the Torah, especially where it concerns Satan. So let's go to the next footnote, which is in verse 8. Again, the devil took him up into an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So we have here for mountain, we have a footnote which says the highest mountain in Israel is Mount Hermon in the north, which is where he was taken up. So there you have it. So it's Mount Hermon. So let's go to the next footnote. And verse 9, he said to him, all these things I will give you, if you will fall down, bare your head, and pay homage to me. So, all these things I will give you, you. So let's have a look. There's a footnote there for you. These were not Satan's to give. So how could he even make such an offer, which is ludicrous? Satan owns nothing, but only roams in the air. Everything is owned by Yahweh. The whole world is his. Okay, I find that quite interesting. Because a lot of people think that the earth belongs to Satan. So let's just read that again. Yeah. These were not Satan's to give. So how could he even make such an offer, which is ludicrous? Satan owns nothing. Let's read that again. Satan owns nothing, but only roams in the air. Everything is owned by Yahweh. The whole world is his. And for this we can go to Psalms 24 and 1. If I quickly get Psalms 24 and 1. Psalm 24 and 1. The earth is Yahweh's, and the fullness of it, the world and they that dwell therein. Let's read it again. Psalm 24 and 1. The earth is Yahweh's, and the fullness of it, the world and they that dwell therein. So we have a footnote for therein, which says, in whatever present shape we are in, the world belongs to Yahweh and not to Satan, as erroneously being taught around the assemblies. So understand, there are assemblies out there are telling you that, the world belongs to Satan, it's in Satan's hands. But here we have confirmation, Psalm 24 and 1, that the earth actually belongs to Yahweh and Yahweh only. It doesn't belong to Satan. So he can't give it to you, so to speak. So that is confirmation that the earth belongs to Yahweh and Yahweh only. Okay, let's have a look at the next footnote, which is, and I will give you, if you will fall down, bare your head, and pay homage to me. So we have a footnote here for head. Let's have a look at this. So the Shem Tov reference, Yahushua wore a head covering, which is proof in the Hebrew text that having a naked head is a sign of disobedience. So there you have it. So obviously we are to wear head coverings, more specifically at the time of petitioning to the Father. Head covering is crucial. So, you must wear your head covering when petitioning to the Father or praying to the Father at any time. Okay, I just want to have a quick look at Exodus 29 and 6, because there is a footnote there. Let's just have a see if we can find that quickly. 29 and 6. You shall put the turban on his head and put the holy crown on the turban. So this was the head covering worn at the time. It was a turban. Yeah? You shall put the turban on his head and put the holy crown on the turban. So there you have it. So the next footnote we have in verse 10. Then Yeshua said to him, "Get away, Satan, for it is written, you shall pay homage to Yahweh your power." So let's have a look at this first footnote, which is power. He once again quotes the Torah in Deuteronomy 6 and 13. So let's have a look at Deuteronomy 6 and 13 quickly. 6 and 13. You shall fear Yahweh your power, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. So we have a footnote for name here. We are commanded to swear only in his name for taking any oaths. So there you have it. So we must swear in Yahweh's name if we are going to take any oaths. Okay, let's go to the next footnote, which is in chapter 13. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Kafar Necum. So let's have a look at this word, Necum, the village of the prophet, Necum. Okay, so the next footnote, which is upon the sea coast in the borders of Zebulun and Nephthalim. So let's have a look at this word, Nephthalim. So why was Yeshua, Jesus, in the north? Why is the north significant? Biblically, trouble comes from the north, but rescue also comes from the north. Satan and the north are significant. Satan attacks your mind. Satan attacks the north, the mind. In ancient Hebrew, it means to divert or to subvert. So understand, Satan attacks the mind, which is the north side. Okay?